Hi, it's Heather.
And Jane.
And today we're pretty surprised, but it's going to be a surprise coffee chat topic.
Cheers.
We don't, oh, cheers. Cheers. Never very good with surprises. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to play a game and, yeah, using these cool to connect cards.
Yeah, so I have these cards, cool to connect. They were created by Dana Clark from Heroic Humans, and they're called the connection cards. And they are cards that create a deeper conversation, more meaningful. The questions are amazing. We have no idea what which one we're going to pull. I have not read any of these. Any that I've read, I put aside. So there's 52 cards in the deck. So excited, Heather?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to mix them up a bit. This is what I'm going to do because I want to make sure everyone knows that I have no idea what card. So I'm going to mix them up. But I'm going to get you, Heather, to pick a number, and I'm going to count from the top to whatever number you want me to read. Okay, so I shuffled them. Now you pick a number.
14.
14. Okay. One.
Oh, boy. Some of the questions are tricky. You have to really put a lot of thought into it. And some of them are like incredibly thought-provoking.
11, 12, 13, 14. Here it is. Okay. Here's our question. Okay. What is a limiting belief you have, and how can you change it?
Oh, wow.
Oh my goodness.
Because we all have them, right?
We all have limiting beliefs. I know.
And some of them come from our childhoods, relationships and things that may or may not have gone as planned.
And limiting beliefs come from, how we think, because we all control our thoughts. And I think that what happened in our early years, what I understand now, when those early 0 to 7 years, your brain is programmed, your subconscious mind. So a lot of time your beliefs come from people in your life or situation when you're young, and you don't even know that you have them, right? Do you know what yours would be?
I don't know because like I do know that quite a few things that I do in my life probably come from the fact that I don't think that I'm good enough, right? So, but that's like such a huge, that was like a big umbrella one.
Like, yeah, I think a lot of people feel like that. I think so many people like feel that, but I think most of us will put on a happy face and we go out in the world, but you have your insecurities that you don't show to anyone, right? And it's sad because I don't know if anyone watching has listened to Zig Ziglar, Born to Win. Have you listened to his CD?
Oh, no, I haven't.
Because it's ingrained in my brain now. It's like, no one on this earth has the power to make you feel less than, because you were born for greatness. Every single one of us was. And so I just think it's things that we don't realize happened in our past, and not that I'm not saying that someone's being mean or anything, but just things that happened from high school friends or from parents that are just trying to get through life. Like maybe it's like you think, oh, you're shy, you're this, and they tell you, oh, she's the quiet one or she's the outgoing one, and we believe it. And so our beliefs are formed, I think, until you become aware when you're older and you're aware of your thoughts and you're like, wait a second, I'm actually not shy. Who put that in my head?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but back to like that, like what I think about like not being good enough. I think that if you think that you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not talented enough, you're not a good enough parent, you're not all of those things, those are the things that are going to hold you back from actually trying sometimes to be better, right? Like, I was never good at sports. I'm like awful. Like I think that comes from, I was like 6 and, my parents took me to a little, like a little league thing. And I tried to, play ball. Well, I sucked at that. So I never tried that again. So there's a lot of things to do with sports, for instance, where I just thought in my brain that I was like uncoordinated and I wasn't going to be good at any kind of sport, and it didn't matter whether it was like a team sport. Well, I was like saving the team. You don't want me on your team, like, or even just trying any kind of sport endeavor, whether it was kayaking or any of those kinds of things, rope climbing at the gym or anything like that. I just wouldn't try it, right?
But
Because
you're
I was so bad at it. So
because I'm like shocked right now because you are so fit and so athletic and in such good shape, and you're
well, see, now that's what happened, right? Like and that's what changed. And so when I was 40, I decided I was going to get, just before my 40th birthday, I was going to get in shape. There was a real big thing coming up in my life. So I thought, well, I got to try something. So that's when I actually decided to start lifting weights. And it was, to me, that was like, oh my God, this is like finally a sport that I could do, that I liked. I mean, at the beginning, I wasn't very good. I didn't know how to do the exercises, and I was, fumbled through. But because I actually saw results, and I decided that I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
I totally fell in love with it. And
then
then
you start to get confident, right?
Yes, exactly. And that's what then, yes, gave me the confidence to try some of the other kinds of things like snowshoeing and rock climbing and kayaking and all of those, even snorkeling, like all of those things. Like, I think to myself, oh my God, I waited till I was like almost 50 years old to try lots of things because of that limiting belief. So that goes way back to my childhood of, oh, you suck, Heather, at sports.
Yeah.
So there's my limiting belief.
So what is a limiting belief you have, and how can you change it? The thing. So do you still have that or no?
No, I just went with, just as an example, that for me.
Do you have any now?
Any limiting beliefs now? Well, like I said, there's probably a whole list of them. Yeah, maybe some of them. Yeah, a limiting belief now. I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Mine would be, if I think about my limiting belief, probably something I'm getting over now, but I was a middle child of 3 girls and never went to university. I was told by a high school counselor that I would make a great wife and mom, and that was it. And I never felt smart then. And my parents were like, yeah, like you like to sew and cook and you can get married. And I never felt smart enough because I never had a university education. And that was always something that I think held me back. Jane's the fun one, not the smart one, And then you think if you don't have a university education, maybe you can't do a lot in your life. But in the last 4 years from starting personal growth, and I've basically done almost like a university education on personal growth of stacks and stacks of papers, and I've listened to thousands of hours, and my brain has grown and changed, and I feel like for the first time in my life now I have value that I can actually offer. And you don't need a university education, you can, right? So for me it was something that always held me back, but now I feel like I'm getting through that.
Right. So it's
taking control of myself.
Right? Similar, that something from way back held us back. And then recently we've overcome some stuff. I Another one for me would be that I don't think that I have what it takes sometimes to be successful in whatever it is. Like and I think it still goes back to like the not good enough stuff. So I think that my limiting belief is that I'm not, yeah, you're not going to be successful. You don't have what it takes, Heather. You don't, and whatever, in whatever way, whether it's in a, my relationships or professionally or, like in business or anything like that I just don't, I don't
Feels
believe it. I guess
interesting.
that's my limiting belief. And like what you've always keep saying to me is, well, you have to believe, and so how do you do that? How do you do that? If you know that you've got this limiting belief, how are you going to move through it? How do you
change it? Yeah. I think that the first thing is to become aware that you have it, because a lot of us don't realize that you have it. So I think when you actually are aware that you have a limiting belief, then it's controlling how you think. Because as soon as you feel like, for me, if it'd be like, oh, I'm not smart enough, it's my thought. That's me causing my own belief, because it's just thoughts. So I think that if I had that feeling of like, oh, I'm not smart enough to do this or whatever, I have to grab the thought and be like, no, and get rid of that thought and bring in a thought that says, I am smart. I am this. And I love the Wayne Dyer. He does this. It's an I am book. Right. Have you ever seen it, where you write, I am, you do big letters, I am smart. I am important. I am beautiful. I am strong. I am enough. I am love. And you read it every day. And so I think whatever it is that you have a limiting belief of, if you wrote that I am and you read it every morning, every night, I am confident. I am capable. I am going to do great things, whatever you want, I think. And then it starts to become a habit of the way you think. And I think that's how you get over it.
I like that. Like kind of like a mantra, I am.
Yeah.
I am lovable.
Well, and also, Heather, talking to yourself the way you talk to a friend, because when you were saying how you feel, you can see your face being all like, kind of like, if you're, and I'm sitting here looking at you going like, I see you so differently. I see you so confident and beautiful and strong and have so much to offer the world and this amazing person, and we're so hard on ourselves.
Isn't that true? I know.
So,
no, like I know, like I'm like, you're such a mean girl to yourself.
Yeah, no, you have to talk nice to yourself. And then I think also how you would talk to your daughter if she came to you and said, I feel like I'm not good at this. You'd be like, you're amazing. If it was your daughter, like Wayne Dyer actually says that too, to look at someone as if you're their mom, and how would you, right? Interesting. That's a good question.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. So, hey, so people, what are your limiting beliefs? Feel free to jot that down. I mean, not necessarily, but maybe write that. So it might be a good journal prompt or whatever, or something to think about, or something to think about to like with some of your close friends when you sitting around having coffee and chatting or whatever. Just think about
that. Make an I am book. Whatever your limiting belief is, make a book, or just put it on a piece of paper and hang it where you see it every day. I am strong. I am beautiful. I am smart. Whatever you need to put in it and read it every day.
Sounds perfect.
Right. Cheers. Bye. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Bye.